Okay, so the Supreme Court case regarding the legality of homosexual marriage is the talk of the town at this point. The arguments will probably get concluded by the next week, and within another month we will be getting another historic judgment. Now, I have two observations regarding the proceedings of this whole issue, which I want to share with anybody who cares to listen. Now, firstly, this constitutional bench is being presided by CJI Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud. If anybody is familiar with Dr. Chandrachud's previous body of work, they will know that Dr. Chandrachud intends to legalize homosexual marriage in India. He was a part of the bench that decriminalized homosexuality, decriminalized that part of Section 377 back in 2019, and now he wholeheartedly intends to take this crusade one step forward. Of course, this is a constitutional bench of 5 judges, and you would need a majority to render homosexual marriage legal in India, but I am quite sure that we will get to see that. A majority in favor of legalizing homosexual marriage in India. Now, the intention to make this video originated from two observations that I made while the proceedings of this whole issue was going on. What it seems that the bench will attack the issue from two fronts. One is the simple and straightforward gender neutralizing of the Special Marriage Act. This is the most easy way to do this. You change the words husband and wife or bride and bridegroom that are in the various sections of the act, you change them with spouse and spouses, and you get a gender neutral Special Marriage Act, under the ambit of which any homosexual marriage can easily take place. That is, a man can marry a man and a woman can marry a woman, because the act will not specify the gender of the two marrying parties. That was very rude of me. Anyhow, the second way with which this issue can be tackled, or is going to be tackled, I suppose, is through the concept of flexible gender identity. That is, when a man identifies as a woman and when a woman identifies as a man. Now, I might be paraphrasing here, but CJI Chandrachud made this observation in the lines of that there is no absolute concept of a man and a woman, and one's gender should not be determined solely based on the genitals of that person. Now, this invokes the age-old, not age-old, but very recent, but the worldwide debate of what you identify as. Now, you can argue all day what you identify as, but legally speaking, one should not be given the liberty to choose one's gender. Now, before you attack me, I very well understand that transsexuality is a real thing. And if one is a transsexual person, that is, if one biologically is of one gender, but psychologically in his or her head, she is of another gender, the opposite gender, then she is more than, or he is more than welcome to medically or surgically get converted, get transferred to that gender, if that is at all possible in his or her case. By all means, do it. Get changed to the gender of your preference, and after that, even the law will be bound to undertake you as a person of your preferred gender. But if, let's say, you are a male and you identify as a female, but biologically you are completely a man, then the law cannot and must not take you or undertake you as a female person. In fact, I wholeheartedly agree with the question raised by Solicitor General Mehta to this observation of CJI Chandrachud, that suppose a person commits a crime, he is a male. Now he says that I identify as a female. What do you do in that scenario? Do you take that person as a male or a female? Do you put her in a female cell or a male cell? Because the procedural laws in the criminal ecosystem of this country are astronomically different for a male and a female accused and a male and a female convict. So in such a scenario, what would you do? That's a very, very valid question that needs to be answered. So, my point is very simple. If the Supreme Court intends to legalize homosexual marriage, by all means, do it. In fact, I really don't understand why the center is even opposing this. There is no point in opposing this very inevitable social change. You should not oppose it. It should be done. But while doing it, the court must be very aware that they don't make an observation that later can be used to create a great deal of confusion and can also be used to evade or misuse the law. And I know this would be an unpopular opinion, but one can identify as whatever they like, but the law has to objectively see what one is biologically and not what he or she is psychologically. And for any transsexual person who is not comfortable with the biological identity he or she has got by birth, then he or she must change if possible to the gender of their preference. And then the law will look at them, undertake them as a person belonging to their preferred gender. But before that, just by identifying to a particular gender which you are biologically not, if the law starts to give any sort of wind to that notion, it will cause utter chaos. Alright, that's all I have to say about this proceeding that is going on. Let's wait for the verdict. I'm quite sure what it is going to be, but let's wait for it, and I will see you in the next one. Stay informed, stay happy, and stay safe.